Welcome to the 8th episode of Friends in Fantasyland, a Disney podcast. My name is Jenny.
My name is Steve, and I like to jam out in the Country Bears Jamboree. That's a lie. I've never done that attraction.
Who actually goes to it?
He did it for the pun, and I appreciate it.
My name is Brandon, and I watched Shrek on Disney XD for some strange, forsaken reason.
It was on, apparently.
That bothers me so much.
My name is Bill, and would you like am or foom?
Oh my God.
Yes.
Yes.
I need to do that again.
My name's Matt, and Bill and I are going to Disney World.
What?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. All right, I guess we're down to 3. So hey, so today's topics, we're gonna talk about. Wow, they're really not coming back, huh? They just
Quick, lock the door.
Okay, well, I guess we're just gonna get started with it, though.
So, it's just the 3 of us today.
Okay.
sounds good.
I'm jealous. I want to go to Disney World.
I'm surprised that he
When I
didn't.
think-
Oh my God, guys! Did you know Mickey Mouse is there?
We had such a good
my
time.
goodness! I drank so much Beverly.
Oh man, what a trip!
Guys, the plane piloted by Mickey Mouse, the bus Mickey Mouse, the check-in counter Donald Duck.
But how did you understand him to check in?
I gotta say,
Mickey
guys.
translated.
Yeah.
I gotta say, guys. This is probably my favorite intro we've ever done. Like, even more than the Uranus one. That was really good.
Oh god.
What was your favorite ride at this trip?
The bus.
The bus driven by Mickey Mouse.
Did you lick it?
Lick that
Double
bus.
Dutch bus.
Okay,
All right.
so what are we up to this week?
Well, I just got back from Disney. I'm pretty tired.
I have to give my fact.
Oh yes.
We skipped that because someone went on a trip to Disney World.
You should have come. It was a lot of fun.
I'm
I
surprised you
wasn't
didn't
invited.
take her because I don't know. That's your girlfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't invited.
Bro time.
Wow.
Boy.
Don't just take anyone to Disney World. I thought I was special. And my name's Jenny, and did you know that Disneyland literally just announced that the Main Street Electrical Parade will be returning to Disneyland this summer, which means Magic Kingdom is still without a nighttime parade.
Sad.
They had it in
I love how you
all
World
just
War,
said it.
right?
They had it
And I
that way.
remember, specifically, that they had the nighttime electrical parade because the dragon one.
Peach Dragon.
Yeah, I was a young kid, and they had the dragon one with like the crocodile music, and I was like 3 years old, and it scared the ever living crap out of me. So I just
But Elliot's so friendly.
I never seen Peace Dragon, the original or remake, and I was 3.
I really want them to bring Paint the Night Parade from Disneyland over to Magic Kingdom, but I heard stuff that like the floats are too big and wouldn't fit down Main Street in Disney World, and it's so upsetting.
Couldn't they
because
scale it down?
Yeah, you could. I mean, that's a
it'd
lot
be
of work.
building a brand new floats that it's
Okay, I
already
get that.
so much money, and
Yeah.
but it's such a gorgeous parade. Like it, I love the Main Street Electrical Parade. I think it's so nostalgic.
I love
But
the
Paint
music.
the Night puts it to shame.
Really?
Oh my
I
god.
I'd
haven't
have to
seen
look
that
at that one.
Yeah.
So good. It's another thing we'll watch after we're done
Yeah.
recording.
Okay, well, what is our topic for today?
So on our last episode, we discussed our, favorite underrated hidden gems. Today we're doing the exact opposite, and
Yep.
we're going with what we think are overrated or
Yeah,
Just
we're talking
plain
about
terrible.
flip-flops.
Flip flops. Perfect.
The
Flop.
favorite.
What flopped? What?
Overrated movies are flops.
And it doesn't have to go by like statistically box office numbers, park attendance, ride attendance.
It can.
But we're gonna be mostly talking about like personal unless otherwise stated.
Right. What didn't live up to the hype?
Yes.
Right. So
Yes.
I have 2, and one of them will make people mad.
Uh-oh.
Do that one.
I'm gonna get
Your
people mad
fans.
anyway.
So
But go ahead.
let's start with the movies. So I think we all came prepared with a movie or two that we
Mhm.
just
Wait, we
did.
had to prepare?
I gave you homework, Bill. Did you not do your homework?
I was a bad schoolboy.
Failure.
No
Listen,
gold
if I
star
can do-
for you today.
If I can do the homework in 2 minutes, you should be able to do it.
Just kidding, I have
Brandon, can
some
I copy
good
your
ones
homework?
here.
So I'm gonna say my 2 really quick. My first one's Toy Story 4. It's still brand new, so I don't want to give away too much, spoiler stuff, but I'm just gonna say it did not live up to, not that I had high hopes for it, but then I heard it got really good reviews, and the critics were saying it did really good. Then I saw it, and no, it did not live up to the hype for me. I'm choosing that it just doesn't exist. Toy Story, which was a perfect trilogy to me. Anyways, moving on to the one I can discuss. The live-action Christopher Robin movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I
My
thought it was
parents
such
like
a
this one.
good idea.
Oh, it's just so boring.
It could have honestly gone in a better direction, but it
It-
honestly just...
Didn't.
Yeah.
And it's such a shame, like, all the original voices were back. I mean, that's basically just Jim Cummings.
Yeah.
But, you know, and he's so talented, and the animation looked amazing. The
First of all, all
Oh, we cannot gloss over that. That was really funny.
Rue and freaking my favorite Eeyore
Yeah, I mean, the
looked
animation.
amazing.
Yeah, they looked amazing. The movie had such a cool premise, but it just fell so flat. I was bored, and to be honest, I didn't even finish it. I was so bored.
Wow.
I turned off the DVD. Like, I watched it on DVD.
Half the movie was about like getting rid of a heffalump.
Really?
Yeah, you really didn't
What?
even get to, like, see the characters, the Winnie the Pooh characters for that.
Until like halfway through.
Yeah.
You saw either
that's
you only saw
disappointing.
Eeyore
Aren't they?
and Pooh.
Aren't
And even then Eeyore came like a quarter of the way in.
Eeyore what?
But it just, it was really disappointing. Like, I heard some good stuff about it. That's why I got the DVD to watch it and give it a try. And granted, I've never been the biggest Winnie the Pooh fan. I love the characters. It just wasn't my childhood like it was for most of everyone else's.
Yeah.
Mine.
Yeah, exactly.
Mine's
But
very
I don't know,
funny.
it fell flat for me. Like, it flopped.
Yeah. Well, it happens, you know. Oh, my turn? Okay. I was
What's your flop?
So, this is a movie that I was so incredibly excited for. Like, I was hyped for this movie from the initial trailer, from the first time I saw it. I saw the trailer the first time I saw that it was happening, and I just was like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited for this. I'm so excited for this. And then I saw it, and I walked out of the theater, and I said, that was okay.
Oh.
It was very average movie.
I know what you're talking about.
I know I'm gonna get flack for this, but here we go.
Dun 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 dun.
I don't think Incredibles 2 is that good.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
thought you were gonna say a different movie.
No, I don't think Incredibles 2 is all that good.
Really?
No.
It was okay.
It was
like
good at
on its
best.
own, it's fine, but the amount of hype that was going into this
Yeah.
movie, they
Yeah.
could have done so much better.
They could
It
have
was
done...
very predictable. I
Oh
think
my
was its
God.
issue.
The villain was
The
predictable as
villain
hell.
was the most predictable. I knew exactly who the villain was the moment she appeared on screen for the first time.
Yes.
When she walked in the door carrying everything, I'm like, she's the villain. And I was right.
You just see it on her face. It's just this...
Not only even that, it's
Villain.
because she's a brand new character and they focus on her for like 10 seconds.
Yep.
I mean, on its own, it's a fine movie and it has things that I like in it. Like, I like that there was more Frozone this time around because he wasn't really like in the first one as much.
No pun intended.
Where
He is
is
a
my
very cool
super
character.
suit?
So, yeah. But like as a whole, I thought it was just painfully average. Like, it's not a bad movie by any means, but it's nowhere near on the level as the first one.
See, the one argument I will say that I don't know if I like two more than one, but to me, one felt more like a secret spy movie, like almost like James Bondish,
And this one felt more
and
like
this
a
one
superhero
felt
movie.
more like a
Yeah.
superhero movie.
I can get
and that's
that.
why I lean towards two more.
No, here's the thing. I like that it's more of a superhero movie now, but
They could have done more with the superhero.
here's the thing. Yes, the first one was more of a spy movie than a superhero movie, but it worked. Like,
But
it,
that's
and,
not what
and
they
the
were
story.
going for.
Well, yeah, but like, did anybody complain?
Me.
Did anybody
Besides
complain
you?
before the second movie?
Yeah, I've spoken to multiple people that say like it was too secret spyish, too James Bond.
Well, yeah, but
You know, the stealth got old after a while. We watched Mr. Incredible and I just think one was way too long. You know,
One does go on a
you
bit
watch
longer
Mr.
than it
Incredible be stealthy, then he gets captured.
Mhm.
Then you have to watch Mrs. Incredible,
Mhm.
or Elastigirl,
Elastigirl.
whatever name she's going by at that point, be stealthy. Then she gets captured.
Mhm.
Like, I think that's pretty
And you
repetitive.
see the kids
That's true.
just...
should. And then Dash and Violet do it too.
Yeah.
It's no, I get it. It's like I get that. It's I do have my issues with the first Incredibles, but like overall, it was still such an enjoyable movie. And even though it was more spy-ish, I was like, I still thought it was an enjoyable experience. And it's the best Fantastic Four movie ever made. I can tell you that one.
They just weren't incredible.
It was, but like I was really excited for the second one, and it just
I do agree.
It just let me down.
I think-
it really let me down.
I think Disney Pixar did it into themselves and they overhyped the movie.
Oh yeah, they really put so much hype into it. They had like all the actors like appear before the movie. Like, we know it's a long way, but here we go. And then I'm like,
That was it.
yeah. I don't really know if it was worth it, honestly.
I still haven't seen that movie.
It's on Netflix.
alright.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
It's worth a watch just to follow
Just
up
watch
what
it.
the incredible story
I would say watch it
is
and
out
see
to.
what happens.
I do like that it was a direct pickup.
Yeah,
You know
I
what
like
I
that
did
phrase.
like,
right
though?
after.
Jack.
What's
You
up?
did or didn't?
I like Jack.
Oh no, yeah, me too.
I
Jack
loved the kids.
Oh yeah.
I think watching the kids was the highlight of the movie for me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it
agree.
wasn't even
I
like
agree.
watching Elastigirl or Mr. Incredible or
Even Frozen.
It was the
Unfortunately,
kids' time
Frozone-
to shine.
Yeah, I like
because
that,
even when
but-
Frozen had his time to shine,
Yeah,
I can say it. But
But yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that it was a bad movie or anything. Like, if I'm saying, like, if you want to check it out, go check it out. If you like it, more power to you.
Also, the best.
For
Disney
me, it was all right.
the best Disney character ever was introduced into
Void.
Void.
Oh,
Void.
I like Void. I'll give you
Void.
that. I like Void a lot.
I love Void.
I like Void. But
still love Edna too.
it was all right.
Anyways,
All right, so I said this earlier, but I'm going to get a lot of flack for this first one because it is something that honestly a lot of people were like hyping up. People were saying, "I need to go see this," and I was just like, "Eh." It was so popular that literally you had veterans singing its most iconic song,
Really? I don't know what you're talking about here.
"Let It Go."
Oh.
I'm sorry, but I couldn't get into Frozen for the life of me. Everyone kept on telling me I need to go see it. It has such great music and everything, and I'm like, it has one really good song, one really catchy song, and then the rest are forgettable.
You know, Brandon, I'm really glad that I didn't say Frozen because I had a feeling you'd have it because I was going to say Frozen.
I'm sorry, but like honestly, the whole entire thing, where basically the premise was okay. Like I get it, like it was always like trying to like show like not show your magic and everything like that. And once because everyone was afraid of what would happen. What happened to being, different? What happened to them? Like when that movie came out, I was like, what happened to like, showing off what you can do and being different from everybody else?
Well, her whole issue was that she couldn't control it.
Yeah.
Yes, I
And that's
understand
why
that,
they
but
sealed
when
it
it
away.
came down to it, in most other movies that we saw, even when it came to like even when it came to Incredibles 2, they teach them how to control it.
yeah. Well, no one said
Well-
Elsa's parents were good parents.
Yeah,
Now they're dead parents.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
No, like no
Does
one.
that make Elsa Batman?
It goes back to it's not Elsa's fault. She was taught from
no,
as
I
a
know
young
it's not
age.
Elsa's fault. Like I get that, but
Granddaddy's
even then, when
fault.
people told me like this musical score was amazing, and you know how I am about my music.
There's a few good songs. Some of the others are annoying.
I only understood why people would sing "Let It Go"
Yeah.
for a million times.
I'm gonna be honest.
I can understand that.
I'm gonna be honest. I agree with you. I think that
Life is an Open Door was too.
I don't mind that
Oh, I
one.
love that
I
song.
don't
Can't
mind
be.
that one.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It is, but I
It's
think
supposed to play
catchy.
up his "I'm a good guy."
yeah. But
It is, and also
We finished each
the main
other's
thing
sandwiches.
the main thing that pissed me off was the surprise villain thing.
Don't tell me you saw it coming. No one saw it coming.
No, it's not that. It was that. It was so out of left field.
It honestly felt
really was
unnecessary
big.
at that point.
It was like there was no build up to it, and then of course people are going to say, "Oh, well, there was build up to it. There was hints everywhere." But that was in hindsight. When you watch it first time, you don't understand why.
It's supposed to come at you out of left field, but then when you look back, the symbolism and his manners, it all is there.
I'm gonna just make a quick point here. I get both sides of the argument here, but here's my feelings on it. The movie on its own already had conflict. There was literally no need for a villain.
Thank you. The whole
So
entire thing
the
was
whole Hans reveal completely irrelevant to the plot of the movie.
like there was already problems with the whole entire thing with Elsa and Anna, like not even being able to get along anymore because of what happened when they were younger. Because Elsa was afraid.
Yeah.
I get that. And even then, when she leaves and Anna wants to go find her, that's a big enough problem as it is. Forever Winter was already a big enough problem.
Yeah, there was really no need to just throw a villain in
felt
literally
he was-
last minute.
I felt he was just added there. It's like, well, we need to have a villain.
Yeah.
When you could have had such a more touching moment without him being there.
Yeah, I guess the whole thinking is like every Disney movie has to have a villain in some way.
Yeah, but like I don't think I disagree. I don't think it does.
No, I
think
feel the same.
We're
We're going to move on from that one, and we're going to move on to the next one. Planes.
Oh God, you were excited for planes?
No,
Why did you-
no, I just think that was a horrible,
Oh yeah,
horrible flop.
Who saw planes?
thing.
Did you really?
I saw.
I
Let me tell you
took a
something.
kid
I'm
babysitting.
sorry. Oh okay.
Let me tell you something. Of course, I saw it because autistic children.
Yeah,
Um,
that's right. You work with
it was literally just watching Cars 1 all over again.
Yes. Yes.
But
Literally,
with planes.
Yeah.
Well,
literally.
it was reverse. It was the down on his luck plane comes to terms to try to be a. Wait, that was
Oh.
stupid. I'm sorry.
It was
You
just
just
so
cut
bad. If they honestly left that out and just stuck with making cars better, I would have been okay.
Except they didn't make cars better
No,
either.
they made cars.
They made bigger spy.
Yeah.
No, they made Cars 2, made Planes,
That
made Planes 2,
Oh, you're right. There was a sequel to planes.
where he went from being a racing plane
to a
to a
fire.
firefighting plane.
Oh, I didn't see the sequel.
Oh,
I didn't
no,
know.
they just make it into JJ the jet plane,
Literally.
I was like,
which was nightmarish on its own.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, just to take what this guy worked for ages
And just threw it out.
and just throw it out the window.
Yep.
Didn't even do that to Lightning McQueen.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, and basically there was a version of every single character in Cars and Planes.
Oh, I
You had your Lightning
Oh, yeah.
McQueen, you had your
That
Doc
doesn't surprise
Hutchins,
me.
you had your
Yeah.
you had your Mater, you had your
I mean-
every little thing.
To be honest, I guarantee that movie was only made to sell toys.
Oh,
Like
absolutely.
100%. Like considering
Absolutely.
Cars, there's still Cars toys being sold today. Like that movie was solely made for merchandising and nothing else. It was a simple cash
I don't
grab.
think anyone's paying the Planes merchandise though.
Yeah, I know.
Hey guys, speaking of sequels, I'd like to talk about my movie.
Go ahead.
Sure, go
Go
ahead.
for it.
Bill.
Well, I should say movies.
Okay.
Okay.
Hey guys, you ever think of Disney movies and just wish every single one of them had a sequel?
Are you just gonna discuss sequels in general?
I'm talking about the direct-to-VHS sequel movies.
Oh.
I'm gonna fight you over one of them.
Yeah.
Is it is it the one I think
I'm
it
gonna
is?
agree with you.
Peter Pan.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Okay, that's not on my list.
Good.
Okay.
Because Return to Neverland is really fun.
No, that was fine.
Yeah.
That was on my other.
Honestly, I think Return to Neverland and Lion King 2 are the only ones that are like not garbage.
Lion King 2 is okay.
Jenny disagrees.
Lion King 2 is okay, except for you, Pendy.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, one bad song doesn't ruin an
Yeah.
entire movie.
I would like to just note, like, the amount of Disney movies that they made direct-to-VHS sequel movies to.
Yeah.
So these weren't released in theaters; they were only on VHS tapes, which for you millennials are like DVDs but bigger and less resolution.
And square.
They're rectangular
And
DVDs.
rectangular.
I hope we talk about my favorite direct-to-DVD Disney movie.
Which one? You mean The Hunchback of Notre Dame too?
Oh God, what an abomination that
Or
was.
do you mean Belle's Magical World?
Oh my god!
Or maybe Lady and the Tramp 2 Scamp's Adventure.
I remember that! That was such a
Yeah.
blight!
Oh no.
No,
What-
my favorite is Cinderella 3 when
Oh
they
my
travel
God,
in time.
time travel.
Time
That's
traveling
right.
Evil stepmother.
I did
Oh
not
my
hear
god,
You know
that's
what the thing
right.
is?
God,
You know
I
what the thing
forgot
is?
about that.
That was the only VHS I actually burned.
And like 2 was
it's-
decent,
I was
but
literally
3
just-
was awful.
I was literally just talking about that with my dad the other day. How
Oh
Cinderella 3 is
my
about time
God.
travel.
It's so
Go on,
bad.
Bill. I'm curious if you're gonna rip on one of my favorites, but go on.
No,
Don't you dare
no,
rip
I
on
mean,
one of my favorites.
something I find very curious is that almost every single one of these has the word 2 in the name for
Yeah.
the sequel. Like they couldn't like take the extra few minutes to think of a better title. It just had to be like the movie title, the adventure name, number 2.
Yeah.
Stop looking at my notes.
Sorry, I want to see what other sequels you want to bring up.
No. So,
Also, I will protect Little Mermaid 2 till I die.
That's the other one that I was actually thinking of.
didn't even see the first one.
I know everyone hates it, but I love Little Mermaid 2.
Well, that's because she actually
I
wants
don't
to
hate
become a
it.
mermaid.
It's just
Melody's
it's
the smart one. Melody
like
wants
Melody.
to be
Yeah.
a mermaid.
I
Who
like
would give up a
I agree.
mermaid tail?
I agree.
So I'm just gonna rip on 2 of them real quick, just
Okay.
because like they're easy to rip on and they're a good sort of generalization for the rest of the direct-to-VHS movies. Is just basically like it seems as though they were just trying to pump out the volume of movies just because of the oversights. So the 2 most notable ones that I found were Pocahontas 2: Journey to a New World and The Hunchback of Notre Dame 2.
Yeah.
I read the plot
goodness.
to that one at work when I was bored one day and orders were slow. Yeah, not much really happens in Notre Dame 2.
Oh
Not
yeah,
much
there's-
happens in freaking
Well, you know why,
Pocahontas
right?
2 either.
Notre Dame 2 it's a bunch of failed pilots for a series.
Pocahontas 2 is just like Pocahontas going back into England and some sort of economic adventure.
Yeah,
which
because
makes no sense.
Because the plot of Pocahontas 1 wasn't far away from the truth enough as it is.
She studies economics.
Did Disney forget in real life Pocahontas
Wasn't-
died?
Yeah.
Doesn't John
I mean,
Smith
and-
fake his own death or something in Pocahontas? Or is that in Mulan?
Let's move on.
Move on.
That's Mulan, okay.
Let's move on to
The
Shang.
sequels I get confused
Yeah,
because I don't
remember,
pay attention to
I
them.
went
That's right. You
into...
tore that one apart.
So
Don't get me started. I'm about to go into a rage.
So Pocahontas 2, aside from the questionable plot line, the animation is just horrible. Background
as
characters,
most direct to sequels are. Yeah.
background characters, their animation is just jerky and it's just awful. Hunchback of Notre Dame 2 is even worse.
Oh yeah,
technically
some of the
speaking.
worst animation I've ever seen. In a
The
movie.
animation. Did you know that the colors of the characters they change from scene to scene?
Oh yeah,
like their skin color and the color of their clothing.
Yep.
It's not
That's
consistent.
so bad.
yeah.
You can see it especially in the gargoyles.
Oh yeah, the gargoyles like a different shade of gray every scene they're in.
Yeah.
They're so light gray, then they're dark gray, then
Yeah.
they're mid-dark gray, then they're
Yeah.
Fuchsia.
almost black.
Yeah, there are certain scenes where they almost look black.
The,
It's ridiculous.
the most horrid thing, in my opinion, about the Hunchback of Notre Dame 2. Don't even like bother about the villain because that villain is just forgettable. The music.
Oh yeah.
So in the OG Hunchback of Notre Dame, they use like this really great orchestral film score. In the sequel, they used soft pop music.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like the same way that we went
Yeah.
over this in like when I went over Mulan 2. They have such great music, and then they have forgettable music.
Yeah.
I still forgot what that one song was with the 3 princesses.
Yeah.
I want to be like other girls.
That crap.
Yeah.
I used to jam to that. I'm not even gonna lie. Used to.
It's okay.
Um,
I'm sure people jam to the pop music in Hunchback 2.
I honestly don't know if I've ever heard a song from Hunchback 2.
They certainly ain't the soundtrack from Hunchback 1, I can tell you that much.
That's so upsetting because one is gorgeous.
One is such
And
a
the
good soundtrack.
animation in both Pocahontas and Hunchback one are very good.
Yeah.
It was very unique.
Yeah, but here it's like
I'm
big
convinced.
oof.
I'm convinced that they're just doing it for money.
Oh yeah,
They were.
absolutely.
They were. Every
They-
single time one of them did better, it's like, what if we made a second one?
But do they
Yeah.
actually
No.
make money off the sequels? I
Yes,
feel like
they did.
there's no profit
They
to be
did.
made.
Well,
They
they're
wouldn't keep making them if they didn't.
They made small profits. That's why they didn't continue them.
Okay.
If they made big profits like they did with Cinderella 2, Aladdin 2,
They make 3.
they
which
make
they did.
3.
they're also direct to VHS, which means they cut out on a lot of the theater costs that go with it.
That's true too. It's not as much money into production.
Yeah.
When's the last time they actually did a direct to DVD? Because now all their sequels are in theaters. I mean, that's all they've been doing for the past year and a half.
The
That is
last
true.
one that I remember was, and this movie is also absolute garbage, despite the fact that I like the first one. Brother Bear 2 is the last one I remember.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, even
There's
that-
a 2?
Yes,
yeah,
there
it's
is
awful.
a 2.
Don't see it. It's really bad.
Even that's like early 2000s, I think.
Yeah, that's the last one I remember. Either that, or, I don't remember if that or Stitch 2 was first.
Oh, Lilo and Stitch. See, that's the one I was gonna
Stitch
like.
2 was first.
scream
Oh.
about. Lilo and Stitch 2 is so good.
Oh no,
It's such a
Stitch
tearjerker.
has a glitch. Is a legitimately enjoyable movie.
Oh my god, that whole I could go on and on about the Lilo and Stitch series,
But
that's not what we're
I
doing
don't remember if
this
that one was first or if Brother Bear 2 was first.
But you should go on and on about your topic.
Well, Matt, we're not here to talk about stuff we like.
No, we're here to talk about stuff we don't like.
Matt,
Stuff that has
what is
flipped
this
and
one
flopped.
that we need to hear?
All right, so
Give us your movie flop.
all right, my movie flop, and I know everyone knows this movie was garbage, but as a little kid, I had such high hopes for this movie because it was right in in that time frame. I think it was like 8 when it came out. I was really into cowboys and adventures.
Oh God.
And I'm sitting
here we
in the
go.
back of my grandma's car looking forward to Home on the Range.
Oh no. This movie sucks.
Oh my God.
Oh
Tell us
God,
about
what
it.
a piece of garbage.
You know how our friend Lucas has, he says the Cat in the Hat proved to him that bad movies exist?
Mm-hmm.
That was Home on the Range. And this was Disney of all things, so I was
Yeah.
very disappointed.
I'm just picturing you like in the back seat of a minivan, like with a cowboy hat and little toy rifle.
To be honest, I'm not even sure what I expected going into it, because looking back, all I can think about is how bad it was. Like, yeah, there were
I never even
songs,
heard
but
of
they
Home on
weren't
the Ranch.
They weren't
Good.
memorable. It had like one really big name in it as like the lead cow.
Oh yeah, Morgan Freeman.
No! First of all, the lead cow was female.
She was female.
Sorry, Rosie O'Donnell.
Actually,
Good one.
was it? Yeah, because now I'm thinking.
Roseanne
what if it
Barr,
was?
Judi Dench.
No, Roseanne Barr is Maggie.
Yeah,
Okay, I don't know who that is.
It's Roseanne, isn't it?
Roseanne.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've never watched.
And Judi Dench is Mrs. Steve Steve Buscemi's in it.
Steve Buscemi's in it?
Yep, he's Wesley.
As
I think
himself.
he's the villain. I think Wesley's the
No.
villain.
Doesn't he get like a really bad song too?
Patrick Warburton is in it as
Oh.
Patrick.
Oh my lord. Oh, I mean that's
So, yeah,
that's
so,
an
yeah,
easy point for the movie
There
there.
are some notable actors in this movie, but it's just wasted talent. I don't think
Oh.
anything could have saved this movie.
G.W. Bailey was in it.
Can you give us
that?
a quick plot recap?
If I can remember it, I was so young. I just remember
Don't the
coming out of
cows
the
like
movie.
go on an adventure or something?
Yeah,
like
they
that?
go. Oh, you know what? Someone wants to buy out the farm they're on, so they go on this adventure to stop it from being bought. I don't know what they plan on accomplishing. Like,
Because they're cows.
Yeah, they're cows. And honestly, Barnyard was better. Barnyard was so much better.
The
than this
movie? Barnyard, yes. The show? Oh God,
Thank
no.
God there's no show for Home on the Range. Thank
Yeah.
the bovine lord.
Yo, what if they made a direct-to-VHS sequel of
Oh God.
I'd get it just
Home
to
on the
burn it.
Range 2. The
Bovine
range
lord.
moves.
The Ranger.
No, just Bovine Lord.
The range moves.
Oh.
Oh, come on, I can't make one pun.
It was a
I mean,
good
I-
first try.
I mean, I say I'm gonna slap Matt when he makes those jokes. So
So on that happy note, I think we should move over to the park flops. So I have two that I really cannot decide between, so I'm going to do one really quickly, and then I'm going to move on to the one that I really want to elaborate on. So my first flop, these are both at Epcot, by the way. Soarin' Over the World. Wow.
Excuse me?
How boring. Compared
Oh, that's the sequel.
The new one.
compared
Yeah.
to Soarin' Over California. Granted, it did make no sense when you're flying in Florida, why you be over California and why you land in Disneyland
Yeah, but who
or finish in
cares?
Disneyland.
It's fun.
But I didn't care,
Yeah.
you know. It to
Can
me
I say what
Mhm.
I like least about it?
about which one?
The new one?
The new one. They got rid of the
Oranges?
I have
Yeah.
that on my bullet points.
Yeah, that's.
Oh, why
I
did they
agree.
get rid of the orange groves?
So
I
you're gonna
agree.
break your shot glass.
But it was so. And then they were hyping it up. They're like, yeah, it's going to be even more immersive. We're going all over the world. Higher quality video. You know, it's going to be better because you're going to finish it, land in Epcot. I go, wow, that sounds amazing. Like, yeah, I love Soarin'. Do it. And then it opened up, and it was so boring.
Yeah.
And there's no movement. You just sit there. Like, the
Yeah.
other one, I felt movement. I felt us, like, swinging and gliding, tilting. This one, I can't even tell when I'm moving. I have to look at the other rows and be like, oh, we are, okay.
Yeah, I noticed that when we went. Like,
Yeah.
it totally.
That's
just-
horrible.
Oh yeah, it's so bad.
And the smells, there's only like one now, and it's
Dirt.
yeah, it's when
Curry.
it's when
Yep.
you're in the like savannah and you smell the fresh grass and probably elephant poop. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Oh god.
And then my other thing is, from a technological standpoint, there's 3 sections in Soarin'. 1, 2, and 3. If you're not in 2 to be dead on straight center with the screen, the movie is curved
Yeah.
because of the screen. How is that higher quality?
Is it
have
not
you ever-
like that for the original?
No.
No, or at least if it was, why would you not fix it for a higher quality thing? Come
Yeah.
on, Imagineers, you've done so much. You can figure out how to unbend an IMAX screen.
Yeah.
Like, or because literally the last one before you go back to Epcot is the Eiffel Tower. And if you're sitting on the side, it's the Leaning Tower of Pisa at that point. Like, it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's not immersive
True.
and quality when you're looking at a bent Leaning Tower of Pisa Eiffel Tower.
Yep.
I completely agree.
So, like, I was so excited. And then the good thing that came was we got a 3rd theater, so now at least the wait isn't 2 hours long anymore.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't wait more than an hour, to be honest. I still love Soarin', don't get me wrong. I still make a point to go on it every time because I love the feeling of gliding with, dangling my feet.
I
And
think we rode it twice when we went last.
yeah, I still ride it multiple times. It's just, it doesn't have the same
Magic.
magic and effect it did
Yeah.
on me on the original.
I agree.
That's California got Soarin' over California back for the summer, and I'm so jealous. And then the one I really want to go off on, if you think that was bad, Test Track 2.0.
Really?
Really?
Oh my god.
I feel
Disappointment.
this. I feel this.
Disappointment.
Really?
Yeah.
If you
Surprised.
the original 1.0 when it was sponsored by
GM,
thank you, was so good.
You wouldn't know that.
It the whole queue was so immersive. You were walking through an actual workshop.
Yeah, they had the
testing
move.
cars.
They had the robot.
Yes,
the robotics
the
too.
robotic
Yeah,
arms
yeah.
and the test dummies, the crash dummies everywhere. And then
The intro video
the
too.
intro video. Fun fact: the guy that did the intro video is in Pitch Perfect.
Oh,
That's funny.
Yeah.
Can I
it's,
give you a fun fact? When my family and I went there, like when I was young, one of the Disney people picked us out of the line to give us a tour upstairs.
Oh, nice.
So cool.
Yeah.
wow.
Now that's a you have to be a Chevrolet worker to get into that lounge. Yeah. It's now it's sponsored by Chevrolet, and
You drive a Chevy. You can go up there.
no, a worker.
Worker.
Oh.
Otherwise everyone would be up
Yeah,
there.
seriously.
Everyone has a Chevy.
But now that it's sponsored by, and this is purely nostalgia, like, I remember, this was probably, like, one of my earliest memories from Epcot specifically, of going through this ride, being with my dad, who, was pointing out all the cool stuff, and, like, it was so, like, moving, like, you would stand on queue and not be bored, like, there was something new to look on everywhere you look.
Yeah.
Now, you walk into Test Track 2.0, sponsored by Chevrolet, and it's just one big, hey, look at Chevy, we want to sell you something, look at how cool our cars are, futuristic, and I'm like, no, it's so disappointing, and I like the design your car thing, that's cool, I guess, but,
Did they not have that in the original?
No.
one? Okay.
and actually on 1.0, you load it in from the other side.
Oh.
Yes.
They reversed it.
Yeah.
Now you have to go all the way through the back of the building and come up and load in, but that's just me being technical. The track stayed exactly the same,
Yep.
but
They changed the scenery in
the
it.
scenery and the test, the whole story with Test Track 1.0 is that you were supposed to be like a crash dummy, testing out and going through all these different tests to see if this car. So as soon as you started going up that first hill after seatbelt check, you were on bumpy roads. Coming down, you're on bumpy roads. Now, when you go up that hill, you're just sitting there. There's nothing happening. You're looking at pretty projections on the walls, and they're like, "Welcome to OnStar," blah blah blah, whatever. It's no test. And then the other one that stands out
I feel like
is,
it's really dark in there. You can't see either.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not my problem. It's supposed to be futuristic. I get it. Chevy wants to take it into the, new century or whatever. But it, the other test I really miss is the hot and cold chambers.
Yes.
Now it's...
Oh my God. Yes.
Now you used to go through, it must have been like at least 100 degrees in there. And then you'd go into a freezing cold temperature, and then they would go
Yeah.
into a garage where they were like left on sprayers that smelled really bad.
Yep.
You would know what those are better than me, Bill.
Yeah, it's
Um,
like the paint sprayers.
Yeah. but now it's the environmental test
Yes.
where you're just gliding through, nothing's happening, but little did I know, there's a mirror on the right side that if you look there, there's a cool little thing flowing over your car in the mirror to test your environmentability.
So dumb.
I didn't even know it was there until someone pointed it out to me like the 5th time writing it. They're like, oh, look at that, that's cool. I go, what? Like, I've never noticed it. And that was supposed to be our environmental test. I'm like, no, roast me like a chicken and then freeze me. Like, come on.
Isn't that
Jenny
just how
Town-
chicken nuggets are made?
Yes. Like,
Get that out.
I don't know, it had such a better feel to it when you wrote it as 1.0. And then they announced they were closing it to rehaul it, and I was like, okay, maybe it's gonna be, just a refurb, and then all of a sudden it totally got redone, and everyone's like, no, it's really, really cool, but I don't know, maybe it's just a nostalgia factor, but I miss the workshop feel of it. I don't think there's too much of a story in 2.0 other than buy our cars. In 1.0 there was a story, it was immersive, there was characters, you were involved. Now it's just look at the pretty cars.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Chevrolet TM.
yeah. I get it. I do love the story of 1.0. That being said, I still absolutely love this ride.
Oh no, I love the ride and I'll go on it over and over and over again.
But no, I agree. 1.0 is better.
Yeah. Anyways, moving on, I ranted long enough about Test Track. Steve.
Alright, I'm gonna get some looks from people in this room, but here we go. So, this was a ride that I went on, when I was back in, I don't know, I was 12, 13, 14 maybe, I don't know. However old I was. I was a teenager. And as a teenager, I mean, I still am now, but as a teenager, I was, super into mythical creatures.
I know where it is.
I love mythical creatures, from anything, from, dragons to mermaids to unicorns to give me another one.
Centaurs.
Centaurs to yetis. And my dad told me that there was a ride that featured a yeti in Animal Kingdom, and I was like, oh, cool, let's go on it. We got on the ride. It went forward. It stopped. It went backwards. It went forward again. There was a yeti that didn't even move, and the ride ended.
Disco Yeti.
I don't like Expedition Everest at all. I think it is such a boring ride.
Can I?
Yeah, go ahead.
I think the backwards part is really, really fun. The one part the couple parts that I really like is, even though I hate heights, when you're first going up that big incline, I think that's pretty cool.
It's a nice view, yeah. And the back, I do like the fact that you go backwards, it's nice, but at the same time, it's too short. You go backwards, then you stop to go backwards, then you stop again to watch a projection of the Yeti from the track apart, then you go forward again, and the ride's over.
Yeah.
It's such a letdown for me. If you like it, more power to you.
The only thing I had to say
for
is that
me, it was so boring.
You pause not only for story, but for technology having to catch up to you so the tracks can move for safety reasons.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So there's not much the Imagineers could have done with that.
Yeah.
So at least for this, they put show elements to make up for it, like the projection of the Yeti and the hair ties when you stop at the top.
You always forget to bring
That's
one.
right.
Nah, I mean, Everest is probably one of my favorite roller coasters ever. It was my first actual roller coaster, other than the Dragon Wagon at the carnivals.
you know what it was? And I think it was even the reason why it was such a big letdown to me. Not only did I find the ride incredibly boring, but literally earlier, because we had the park hopper, I believe, and we either had the park hopper or it was the day before. But literally before going on this exciting roller coaster, I went on Rock and Roller Coaster for the first time.
Oh no.
So, coming off the rails of the greatest ride ever,
See,
it's...
That'll do it.
that's the thing. You got to work your way up. The first time I ever went to Disney in 7th grade, I believe we did Magic Kingdom, Epcot, Animal Kingdom, Hollywood Studios, and then Magic again. So we worked our way up, and Animal Kingdom was Mount Everest, I should say. Mount Everest was a great introduction to like extreme coasters for me. I think the story behind it, I think it tells the story of the Yeti really well. I think the queue is really interesting with all the Himalayan artifacts. I think it's really good. So I wholeheartedly disagree with you, Steve.
I know you do. I knew you were going to.
And I'll stab you if you say
What?
it. No, I'm kidding.
Yay!
I love the Disco Yeti.
The Yeti is in Brie mode.
Yeah, I was just really let down by it. It was
I
something
get
that
it.
I was excited for, and then I went on it, and I'm like, this sucked. It was really boring.
That's
But
okay.
that's
We
just
all
me.
have our opinions.
Yeah.
Even if
Some
we're
of whom
wrong.
are wrong.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna say it, but you know everyone.
I
else said it.
was biting my tongue. Brandon and Bill said it for me.
All right, Brandon.
Brandon.
Who likes shows?
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Oh, shows you said.
Yeah.
I couldn't understand you.
Okay, so who likes shows?
Yes.
I do.
Yes, we all do. We all love a good show, whether it be a little short film or or a musical or anything like that.
Oh.
He's about to rip on your carousel of progress, ain't he, boy?
No,
No,
I
you
know
better
it's-
not.
It's not. I know it's coming.
I know it's coming.
What is it?
Why did A Bug's Life have to be a
Yep, there it is.
Yeah!
There it is.
Has to be
Why?
a bug. Sucks.
Yeah. Oof.
Oh
It's a
my
big oof from me.
God!
Yeah, it's gonna be a no from me, dog. It's
I was gonna
Okay,
put
listen.
that on my list.
yeah, it's not a good
Listen, I
suggestion.
liked the movie A Bug's Life. It was actually a pretty decent movie. Decent.
It's okay.
Never said it was good, really good. It's a decent movie. I was okay with what it did, and it was okay. All right. If you know that it's only okay, why are you going to make an attraction for it?
Wait, did you say why was the movie okay?
Yeah.
Brendan, the ride came out 7 months before the movie.
Did it really?
Yeah.
No.
I don't know that.
Yeah, it
Oh
did.
my god.
It
It was to
opened,
promote the movie.
Yeah. Well, not,
So you know what?
They thought it was gonna be really successful.
You know what?
Well.
That makes it even worse.
And you know, it's funny, because it's still open today.
Yeah.
No, but why?
Like 20-something years later now.
In all honesty, it's the first time you honestly get to witness something in quote unquote 4D. Technically, because you have the whole entire interaction thing with the chairs and everything like that, especially when they sting you with the
I hate
freaking
that.
When you
Oh,
hit
that's
the
the
back of the-
worst.
Yeah.
and
Dude, I had a panic attack
I
on the
literally
ride.
I had a heart attack and
Yeah.
literally tried to find where the hell the knife was.
Yeah.
The only reason I could see why it's still open is that it's in such a difficult space. It's literally inside the Tree of Life.
I get that.
Yeah.
That what else would you put there? And I think Disney's kind of just put it on the back burner, like, yeah, we'll get to that eventually.
It
Yeah.
was an opening attraction for Animal
Yeah,
Kingdom.
that's
That's
too.
true.
Oh.
And they do have the animatronic for Hopper is really cool.
That's
I'm
true.
not
I will
Yeah,
give it
no,
that.
yeah.
I will give it that.
But other than that, it's gotta go.
Yeah.
I
Why?
think the only redeeming factors of A Bug's Life are the puns.
Yes.
I,
Okay.
Yeah.
I actually was going
I
to
got some
talk
decent
about.
weapons.
I was going to talk about it's tough to be a bug, so I actually have down a few puns.
Oh boy.
Do it.
So there are while you're waiting in the ride queue, there are some songs playing, covers of popular songs like "One" by a chorus line, which is now played by a cockroach line.
That's
Mhm.
The hit
That-
song "Beauty and the Beast," which is now "Beauty and the Bees."
Yeah.
That's really funny, actually. Bees?
The song "Tomorrow" by Annie, now played by Auntie.
It's all musicals.
That's amazing.
Jenny, you might like this one. I Feel Pretty, West Side Story, is now I Feel Pretty by Website Story.
Websites.
Hello, Young Lovers by The King and I is now Hello, Dung Lovers by The Dung and I.
Dongina.
And the last one, Tonight, mixed with Flight of the Bumblebee by West Side Story, is now Tonight by Website Story.
Oh my goodness.
Oh boy.
I wish one was from Newsies.
Was Newsies
I don't
even
think
out
this
in the
was
No.
movie?
Yeah.
I just like
No,
Newsies.
when that first came out, that was
Wow.
Well, we don't talk about the movie.
Yeah.
But anyways,
Was that yours too, Bill?
No.
Oh, okay. What's yours?
I'm gonna paint you a picture.
Oh no.
I like pictures.
Opening day, Disneyland, California.
Mhm.
You know what I'm gonna talk about.
Bill's time has
Oh
come.
boy.
Here we go.
Opening day, 1955, Disneyland, California.
Yes.
Great rides, one of which is the People Mover.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good
Love
ride.
the People Mover.
Yes.
Good ride.
It was a fantastic ride until Disney ruined it with this horrible attraction called Rocket Rods.
Rip.
Oh.
Not only was it kind of thrilling, it wasn't really. It was mainly just a ploy for Disney to destroy the People Mover tracks. So, the People Mover has a pretty good history. It was a long-running ride. The tracks were made for slow-moving cars. You know, they're not meant to go at high speeds around
Right.
corners.
It's the ride you go on to relax and unwind after walking in the sun all day.
Exactly.
So, after like 30 years of this ride functioning perfectly fine, even 40, almost 50 years, Disney in May 22nd, 1998, had opened a brand new ride using the People Mover tracks called Rocket Rods.
And I cry every time.
And that was the day that the Earth stopped spinning. Because
Oh!
this ride, they built all new cars, they built like scenery all around the People Mover tracks. These cars sped down the old tracks that were built in 1955. So over time, the tracks started to crack and rot away,
Right.
which obviously becomes super
As they-
unsafe.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the Rocket Rods, not only did it cause like a big safety hazard, the ride was just boring in general. I mean, it didn't go that fast because...
Yeah, it had to slow down for each turn.
Yeah, exactly.
It was stop and go.
Normally with like high-speed turns on roller coasters, they're banked. In other words, they're angled as you go around the turn.
Yeah.
But the People Mover tracks are completely flat all the way around.
Mm.
So when you get on the ride, the first like straightaway that you go down over like the whole Tomorrowland area, you're only going about 30 miles an hour, and then you have to decelerate really quickly because of a sharp left-hand turn.
Mm-hmm.
So over time, these like speed up and speed downs on each of the turns, it just started wearing away on the concrete and the tracks.
Right.
So it was closed very shortly later, on July 6, 1998. And it was closed 3 months after opening.
That's-
3 months!
That's
It's
bad.
nothing! And then
That's a really big mess up.
yeah.
So they stayed closed until October, where it reopened to not a lot of fanfare.
Mm.
And then, not even a full year, they closed again September 25th, 2000. They said it was going to be temporary renovations and that they were going to reopen spring 2001. But to this day, those tracks are still unused. There is no ride there.
Wow.
Not even
Yep.
a People Mover came
Nope.
back.
That sucks.
They destroy the tracks so much that they can't even put the original attraction back on. And the horrible thing is they can't take the tracks down. It's right where people walk. They'd have to close down the entirety of Tomorrowland.
Yeah.
It would just be way too much work. So now that they're left with an eyesore where you can see on like some rides, the old tracks are now overgrown by trees and shrubbery.
Wow.
Yeah, it's awful. And you can see visible like big cracks on the tracks too.
Ooh, cracks on the tracks.
Yeah.
So next time you
that's
ride
the name
People
of my
Mover
next
at
album.
Disney World, appreciate what you have.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, I appreciate what I have on the People Mover anyway.
That's true. I could ride People Mover
I
all
love
day.
People Mover.
People Mover's so relaxing, so
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah. But anyway, I hate rocket rods. Matt, what's your flop?
Last but not least.
Do I have time to do two? One super quick and one like, kind of like what you did?
You have
One
10 minutes,
very quick.
barely.
Yeah.
Okay. What I'm gonna do really quickly is Stitch's Great Escape.
Oh God.
Yeah. This
Oh,
one
God, yeah.
calls back a lot of bad memories to a lot of people.
Ugh.
It replaced the alien ride that they had that.
Extraterrestrial.
Extraterrestrial. It was
Terrestrial.
Terrestrial. It was a horror-based simulation encounter with the alien, I believe.
It was
Was
supposed
it the
to
movie
be.
yet? Like
Yes.
Xenomorph?
It was supposed to be, but then they couldn't get licensing rights or something.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
And then they brought the Xenomorph to a Great
Great
Movie
Movie
Ride.
Yes. Okay. And even though it was very scary and not made for little kids, it was, went over very well. And then they closed it for Stitch's Great Escape, which kept the same exact layout, except it's with Stitch, who is super adorable and fun, but this ride was just really claustrophobic, really dark. It was scary. As 7th grader, I was very scared of Stitch.
Yeah.
And you came off smelling like garbage because the thing
Stitch
burps in your
farts.
face.
Yeah.
He burps in your face. He burps onions on you or something like that.
I think it's chili cheese dog, they say.
Yeah, something like that. And it was not a good time. Now, the thing I'm really gonna go off on, it isn't a ride, it isn't a
Here we
show,
go.
it isn't any kind of attraction, it's the whole damn park. Disneyland Paris.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't
I was
suppose...
expecting you to tear Tiki Room apart.
No.
But all right, go on.
That's another night. Disneyland Paris, do you know what year it opened, Jenny?
Not off the top
Let me
of my
see.
head.
I got it.
Disneyland Paris.
Oh, never mind. He's gone. April 12th, 1992.
It opened in 1992, April 1992, and to this day, it has yet to turn a profit. It is an economic disaster, and not to mention, you go to Disney World, you go to Disneyland, they look beautiful. Disneyland Paris is not well kept
Really?
at all.
Disgusting.
It's like the streets. It's disgusting, and it's not taken care of. And they keep pumping money into it, but they don't make money out. And the thing is, they only are going to keep putting money into it because how bad would it look on Disney to close an entire Disneyland park?
That's fair.
So
I will say though, it's only recent, like in the past couple years, Disney finally got full, at least 90%, maybe even full ownership back of it. I forgot who half owned it with them before, but I think Disney kind of stepped in and said, "All right, we're gonna fix this."
yeah.
Okay.
So hopefully in the coming years it'll shape up, but to this day at least, it is not what you would expect going to a Disney park, and it would be a terrible disappointment going there. At least I would probably view it as such. I would like to be pleasantly surprised, but who knows?
I would like to point out something. I just looked at the Logic file we're recording on, and I noticed that there are 3 microphones. One labeled Bill and Matt, one labeled Steve and Jenny, and one labeled Bran Muffin. So Brandon is now Bran Muffin. What? So,
It was also like that on the other episode we just
recorded 2 episodes, and I just noticed this now.
Oh my laptop!
I'm surprised it took you guys that long to find out.
The name of the freaking... Why am I Brand Muffin?
Because you're Brandon.
Oh my goodness.
Brandon Muffin? Brand Muffin?
Oh my god.
Oh my.
Wow, also, we made it through an entire Disney flop episode without talking about Good Dinosaur.
Oh my god.
That movie sucks.
Yeah.
There you
Good
go.
Dinosaur's so bad.
I honestly forget about it.
Yeah, exactly.
I never saw it either. to
It's
be
not
honest.
good. It's really boring.
No. No thanks.
But
That's
yeah.
another one I stopped halfway through.
Yeah.
And I really do try to make it all the way through with Disney movies.
Yeah, of course.
I just couldn't.
Yeah. Well,
So that about sums up our flops for this episode.
And our flips.
And our flips. Let us know in the comments below if you agree, disagree. We would love to hear your opinions on our personal flops.
please, chew me out about Everest. At me. I dare you. Do it.
Come on.
Come
Bring
at
on.
me.
I'm waiting for all of you
All
you
the Frozen fans.
to just
Yeah, I'm gonna
gouge
talk to you
my
more
eyes
about
out.
this later.
I'm with you on that one.
Okay.
We're at the time limit, but me and you are gonna go later.
Okay,
Yeah.
bring it on, princess.
Let's do it!
Let's get off air before you guys kill each other.
Yeah, anyway, so that was today's episode. We'll see you real soon in the next episode. Bye-bye.
Have a good one.
I wish that people-
Muffin.
Did you say bye?
Bye!